gentlemen, the Boneyard Garage. Today I'm going to do a little walk around on my Locke mower. These were the machines back in the day. I don't care what anybody says, you ain't going to get a nicer cut with a Locke mower when them babies are right. This is all what my father used to work on back in the day. He really knew how to sharpen them and lap them in and adjust them. And he passed that on to me, so it's just kind of cool. Not that we have a lot of these around anymore. This one, someone changed the engine and put a Honda on it. It's supposed to have cast iron brakes with a reduction gear. This Honda got a reduction gear because of that number 50 chain that runs the drive. And under this cover, right here, there's clutches that runs the units, all three units. And this one has a reverse gear transmission, which some of them don't have. That's this right here. That runs down, and that runs the rollers underneath. And that disc in the middle is the brake. So this one has a soaky attached to it. That's the little toolbox where you keep your dog bones. These are your dog bones, and I'll show you what they do in a minute. And these are your shoes right here. And whatever height you want to cut, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, you change these shoes right here, and that gives you your height on how high you want to cut the grass. And there's one on each end of the unit. And then the real units with a bed knife. So the shoes on the other side are pretty worn out. And you can see where they made aluminum plate for that Honda engine to bolt on there. If you see that oil fill right here, that's the oil pan for the Briggs that they took off. Which I have a Briggs that I restored that came off a Locke, and I'll throw the video in the description so you guys can check that out. So I'm going to get the camera set up on the tripod, and I'll show you how to put the units down and throw the dog bones in, and go from there. Okay, in order to get the unit down, what you do is you just simply pick it up and bring it down. This little notch right here fits on here. And once you get it down, you want to bring it in a little bit. And then this is where the dog bone comes in. So let me try to adjust the camera so you can see how I do this. So you take the dog bone, right in here there's a little coupler with 3 ball bearings in it, and that fits right in there like that, one side of the dog bone. And then you slide your unit in to you about 1 inch in, 1/2 inch to 1 inch in past the dog bone. Then you pick up the unit and then slide that dog bone in, and then slide your unit all the way in. And right here there's a little wing nut that you loosen up, and you slide this collar over and tighten it down, and that holds it from going in and out. And you do the same on the other side. And this handle right here, that picks the units up. Grab them, bring it up, and that picks them up, so when you're going over driveways, you know, or whatever, it picks it up about 2 inches off the ground. And then you do the same on the other side. Take this camera off the tripod, bear with me. Okay, same idea on the other side. You can see that shoe is all worn out. I got some new ones I'll throw on. So they got the use out of them. This lever here is to pick up the left unit, and this lever here picks up the center unit. So you got to pick all three of those up when you go across the driveway or whatever. This lever here you pull back and locks in, and that's your brake, which they never really work that well. So very heavy duty. Which I like about these machines is they got the heavy rollers in the middle, and it will roll your lawn and press all the mole holes and everything down as it's mowing, and then it throws the grass straight up instead of like in a clump, and it kind of reseeds at the same time. Years ago when I got out of high school, I worked for a landscaper that all he ever used was these Locks. And right about when I stopped working with him is when the Bobcat walk-behinds came out. So I also got a lapping machine. It's called the Backlapper, and what it does, it hooks on a unit. You would hook it on the front unit, and it turns the reels backwards, and it gives a back lap, and you rub a compound in the oil. It's graphite in oil, and you brush it back and forth on the units as they run. If you hook the machine to the front unit, you can engage the clutch, and it will turn all three, and it will run them backwards. And you keep putting this compound, this lapping compound, on in draining oil, and just let it go, and you keep brushing it on with an old paintbrush. And when you get it brushed on, you want to adjust the units. That's these two bolts right here. There's a lock nut and a bolt, one here and one on the other side. So what you do is you loosen up you loosen up this lock nut, and you turn that bolt in up to bring the bed knife closer to the reel, and just bring it up just enough until you start hearing it touch on both sides. And then you go ahead and you backlap it again and keep going, keep adjusting until you get a nice razor edge. And then you want to put a piece of paper in between the bed knife, piece of old newspaper. You cut them in strips in between the bed knife and the reel, and you want to turn it like that and make sure it cuts the paper nice and clean. And you want to stop from one side and work all the way across to the other side. I'm going to actually lap this in, probably not until the spring though, so I'm going to put it up for sale. So when I'm ready to do that, I will put a video on how to do that. So, a lot of people don't know too much about these locks, so hopefully some of the old timers on YouTube can relate to what I'm saying. You know, some of the younger guys gets a little history of the old lock. Okay there, YouTubers, this is it for this video. So, oh, before I end the video, I do want to show you guys. I should have pulled it out. I'm going to show you the machine I use for lapping. So, I'm going to shut the camera off and get it out. Okay, back. So I figured I'd just hook the machine up to show you guys. We're going to work off the side unit on this one because I have more room to use the machine. So what you do to hook the machine up, you got this little collar with a set screw, which you put on the end of the unit that looks like this here. If you look at this round collar, it's got a hole in it right there. So you put that collar on in, you set that set screw right in that hole. Then you're going to put the depth, I don't really know what this is called. You put the tool on there that goes on these notches into that. And then you got two notches here that goes on the end of the lapping machine. And then you bring the lapping machine in. I'm trying to do this one-handed. set. I want to set this set screw so it doesn't move. Now when you do this, you're going to have it on like a big piece of plywood, because when you oil the unit, you don't want it soaking in the ground and going in the grass, and you don't want that to happen. So when I'm actually going to sharpen these and backlap them, I will have the whole machine on a couple pieces of plywood, at least the units. So that's how that looks. I got both units down and all of them hitting the ground. And on the machine, you're going to see it says forward and reverse. So when we backlap, we want to go in reverse. So if we go forward, this is the way it turns when you're cutting grass. Like that. So when you're moving, that's how it's cutting the grass. So you want to turn them backwards so we can get an edge on that unit and that bed knife. So once you get it all set up and hit your reverse, it's going to spin them backwards. And then this is where you would come in with your lapping compound and your paintbrush, and you just go along it just like this, back and forth a couple times, and let that lapping compound work on that reel and that bed knife. And then you will hear it once it hits it, and then when you put another layer on there, if you don't hear it, that's when you got to adjust your set screws, which I will show you all that when I'm actually doing it. Takes a little time to set up to get it going right, but once you get it set up, you can work on other things, and you just come back to it every once in a while. And just be careful, don't stick your fingers in there, your toes, because you will lose them. Okay guys, that's about it for the Locke right now. And when like I said before, once I start servicing it and getting it ready, I will go through this whole lapping step by step and show you how to get it done. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day.